do you stop a food truck? A lunch break. The food truck industry has grown 7.9% annually over the last 5 years. That's enough to consider if it's the right move for the business. In this presentation, we will look at the profit margin, what types of trucks are available, and fees associated with buying a truck, and the time involved running a food truck. Food trucks generate a lot of costs. Some of the bigger expenses associated with owning a food truck are ingredients, the truck loan and insurance, gas, and payroll. The weekly projected sales based on serving 68 customers per day minimum is $5,712. The expenses, including the ingredients, truck loan insurance, gas, and payroll for at least 2 people, is $5,178. This only leaves $534 for profit. The first year is the most difficult. Building clientele, figuring out the right locations to bring in more customers, and ensuring proper inventory levels are the most challenging aspects. Making sure the right truck is purchased is another problem. Heavy-duty trucks are costly regardless if they are new or used. The standard gas tank is 75 gallons. A base model that will need more kitchen installations starts at $55,000. Over 60 months, the interest alone will be $7,278. A custom-built truck which would fit the needs of the kitchen starts at $100,000 and would create a monthly bill payment of $1,887. If an older truck is purchased, buyer beware, it could be a lemon. Older food trucks are not always up to code and can have engine problems. The short-term advantage would be a lower monthly payment of $623. However, it's possible that the engine could blow out, therefore resulting in major repairs. The time involved with a food truck is upwards of 40 hours a week, with at least 2 people. The owner typically spends at least 60 hours per week involved. The employee would be at minimum 40 hours per week. That payroll ends up being very expensive. The ingredients need to be prepped before travel. Everything needs to be cooked at an industrial up-to-code kitchen, and serving customers needs to be as streamlined as possible before heading out onto the road. If a customer waits 10 minutes for their order, that's cutting into profits. The ideal time to serve each customer would be 6 minutes. The time spent on the road would be at least 12 hours. 6-hour shifts, 1 hour in between each shift. In order to add more ingredients into the truck would need to travel back to the kitchen, which is another 30 minutes of travel time at minimum, depending on the location. Sitting in San Diego traffic, however, would cut into that time, which would cut into the dinner rush. It would take at least a half hour to get to each destination and a half hour to get back to the kitchen. Cleaning the food truck is at least 2 hours. After the lunch rush and before the dinner rush. And the second time it needs to be cleaned is by the end of the night so that it's ready for the next morning. Everything needs to be sterile and up to code in order to serve customers on the road. California is very strict on all things food related. This is a 7-day-per-week job. In conclusion, the sales are not high enough to make the time and effort. I recommend setting profits aside from the current established restaurant to be used for marketing and scouting new locations for a new restaurant. If a restaurant location is in an area that is marketable, we can create a chain without digging into loans or credit by setting the proper amount aside. Thank you.